I just wanted to ask you, Mikel, about Granit Xhaka, because this is 200th appearance for Arsenal on Tuesday. Seems like past few weeks his form's been really good. Just what you've made of that, and also the relationship he seems to have with Thomas Partey in the middle of the pitch as well.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent against the other night against Wolves. He's been really consistent. I think he's improving game by game. I think his partnership with Thomas is getting stronger. They haven't played much together, and that chemistry has to flourish. I think they make each other better, and we have a good balance between left and right footed there in those spaces as well. And then his leadership level as well. I think he has matured a lot as a player, and he's got a big importance in that dressing room. And on the pitch, I think he's doing things much better than before as well.
I mean, we talk a lot at the moment about online abuse and everything around that. I mean, Granit's someone who's experienced that. How impressed are you with him as a person, the way he's bounced back, particularly again from that Burnley game where he was sent off there?
It's not just the Burnley game, because he's had 2 big episodes, and you can maybe overcome one of those. I think the second time it really shocks you and said, I don't want to go through that again. But this is what we're here to try to support our players. I think the club was exceptional, giving him all the support. We tried to do the same. The teammates did the same, and he's gone through again, and now he's getting a lot of praise the way he's playing, and it's down to his character, and it's down of how much as well he wants to succeed in the club.
And just lastly, I mean, he's someone who's been written off a lot at this club about, will he stay, will he go? Is he someone you feel now, you're saying he's mature and he's got a long-term future at this club, and you see him someone who's going to be a real leader for years to come?
He's a really important player for us. Since I've been in, I think he's played almost every game, and it's not a better way to show how much you like and you value a player than to give him minutes on the pitch.
Thanks, Mikel.
Yeah. Hi, just on Nico Pepe again. There have been lots of moments in the last 18 months when we've thought, yes, he's arrived, he's ready, here he goes, and then it dips again and he falls out of the team. What does he need to do this time or what do you need to do as well to sustain what he's doing the last few games?
Well, if you ask me personally, what I think the performance that he put overall in all the phases of the game, I think is the best he's played, and his contribution to those aspects is the best that he's done, and he needs to sustain that. When you have momentum in football, when you have to earn the right to play, you cannot lose it, and in order to do that, you have to keep the basics right and keep doing what you're doing, and if not, you know that somebody else is going to be knocking at your door.
You've mentioned before that he's a free spirit as a character. As a player and as a personality, how much does he need guidance from you, or does he want guidance? Is he quite hands-on in that sense?
I don't know how much he wants, but he needs guidance and he needs clarity in what he needs to do. And then he needs the discipline on the pitch to do what he needs to do. And obviously he needs the freedom in certain moments to express himself as a player. And you cannot restrict that for sure.
Just moving on to, we had obviously 2 departures with Ainsley going and Joe Willock going. It's interesting how we know how important the academy is for the club's strategy, but it now seems that the slightly younger lads have overtaken the ones who are a couple of years older. What do the likes of Reece, Joe and Ainsley need to do to get back in ahead of Emil and Bukayo?
Joe's situation was very clear for me. We talked in the summer about a possible loan. I said to him that I wasn't comfortable with that because I wanted to give him minutes. He was going to play different competition, and in my opinion, it was the right thing to do for his development. I think he's played 17 or 18 games in this period, which is a lot. He's played to a big level, and now we have less competitions. And I thought that he was going to have less time, and probably the best thing to do is to give him another 14, 15, 16 games in the Premier League, to have 30, 32 games in one season for what his age and what he's done in the last few years. It will be a really positive thing. He completely agreed. We find the right club, the right manager and coaching staff to do that. So hopefully it's going to be a really successful period for him. With Ainsley, he's in a different phase of his development. He's 24. He's an English international. He's played more games, and he just wanted to start football games, and he wanted that guaranteed And in my position, it was really difficult to do that. So he was willing to experience something else. He's never been in loan like Joe. And I decided to allow him to do that. He can play in different positions. He might have the possibility to play in midfield, which for him is important as well. And when a player his main will is not financial, is not something else, it's just to play football. It's really difficult to stand on his way when you don't feel that he's going to start that many games.
Do you expect that Ainsley comes back and eventually does become a starter at Arsenal for you?
I expect all the loans that they come back and we make a decision in the summer.
Okay, thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
John at the Mirror.
Hello, Mikel. Nice to see you. I was just going to ask you about a couple of players, if I may. Firstly, about Auba. It was clearly, it's been obviously a very emotional time for him. What was completely overwhelming was the support he had from his teammates. You know, that shows his standing, I guess, as captain, as a leader, and as a player in the dressing room. How sort of touching was that, and also how difficult has this period been for a player like him?
Well, I think it shows the spirit around the dressing room and how much we care for each other. And when things are difficult is when you really need to see as well, when you are a little bit away from that place, okay, are they thinking of me? Are they supporting me? And the answer is a big yes. And he's a player that is very much liked and respected because of his character and what he's done at the club. And I think he totally deserves that support. And individually for him, it's been tough because when you see a member of your family suffer and go through a difficult periods, emotionally it drains you, and you have to be close with them. And I think he made the right thing to be next to them.
Do you have to be strong-willed, strong-minded? Is he shown that, you know, this week since he's come back? Just his qualities.
Yeah, because as well, it was difficult because he wants to be here. He wants to be training. He doesn't want to miss football matches. I think you guys know Auba, and he wants to play every minute or every single competition. So he was having the responsibility to be there, but at the same time, he wanted to be here. He was training on his own, and I think he's managed that really well.
Yeah, his quality is outstanding. You can see when he's full of confidence, as maybe showing, you know, just of late. You know, there's few better, I think, in the Premier League, is there?
I think you touched the key words, and every player needs that confidence. But his ability to produce the big moments and to score the goals, which is the most difficult thing in football, it's unique, and he's got that ability.
Can I just finally ask you about Thomas Partey? He was so dominant. I mean, as you played so well in that first half, you could see his quality. And he dominated the midfield. He dominated the game, didn't he? You know, he's going to be such an important player for you, clearly.
Yeah, obviously that's the reason we signed him, because we believe that we needed a player like him to impose himself in games and give us that dominance and that skill as well that he brings to the team. And we have to see more of him and more minutes and more games and slowly get partnerships and units and chemistry around the team, and he needs to be one of our leaders.
Mikel, you played in some wonderful Arsenal midfields. You played with some wonderful midfielders. You've probably seen them down the years at Arsenal. Does he remind you of anyone? And I was just going to ask you, you know, it makes these wonderful forward runs, and maybe sometimes does he need to shoot a bit more? You're going to tell him to shoot a bit more because he's clearly.
Well, he had a shot the other night when he should have passed the ball, so he needs to shoot when it's the right moment to shoot. But he's got that ability to get in the opponent's box as well and run forwards with or without the ball, and have that presence. Atletico Madrid, he scored a few really good goals, and he's something that he needs to do more.
Does he remind you of anyone, finally?
I wouldn't like to compare him with anyone, John. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you.